Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to assemble a video of different methods to break the bedrock. So let's get to it. I want to start out by saying I did not discover or invent any of these methods in this video. This is just a video that's an assembly of different methods so that you can maybe find the method that you prefer. I will go over these four options that you're seeing here on the screen throughout this video, but I first wanted to start out by talking with the concept of how this works. These are headless pistons. You can see they're the sides of the pistons, but they don't have any piston head on them. These are created by using TNT at just the right moment to blow up the piston head while it's extending. And then what happens is when they get updated, their head comes back. You can see it thinks it's in an extended state, so it pulls it back. Now, when that is facing into bedrock, what happens is as that retracts, and I'll just punch out this piece of bedrock right here so we can see this one right here. When this gets updated, it's going to think there's a piston head to retract instead of a piece of bedrock. And then when it's done retracting, the piece of bedrock is going to be gone. Like that. The initial discoverer of using headless pistons to remove bedrock was Myron from the Sidecraft crew. So you can check him out if you want a lot more detailed information on that. This is just going to be a crash course. I'm not going to go into all the details of the game mechanics of exactly how this works. But all of these methods you see here will work on any bedrock, whether it's in the nether, the overworld, or even the end on the end gateways, something like that. So this first method here, in my opinion, this is best if you don't have access to a fast right clicker. So I am using Tweakaroo, so I can turn on fast right click, and then when I click, it's going to just spam that click button for me at a inhuman rate. But if you don't have access to a fast right clicker, this is near 100% reliable, but it's also safe in survival. So I'm going to first show how it works, and then we're going to also do it in survival to show that it is safe. So you want to get your piston in your hand, open the trapdoor, and then close it. That's going to push you into crouch mode. And then you're going to flick this lever, and you're going to slide over here, and what we're going to see is that piston is going to extend. In fact, I'm going to do that with the tick freezing option. You want to be aiming for the top corner of this bottom block of obsidian. So there's two obsidian blocks. I am aiming my cursor at the bottom one and spamming my right click button. I'm going to unfreeze the game, and we're going to see how this goes. And we can see there, that has now removed the piece of bedrock right below the piston. I'm going to put this piece of bedrock back, and we're going to do this again in survival mode. So here I go, in survival. I have no armor on, no potion effects or anything. And once I switch back and remove this piston, we can see that the bedrock is gone from under there. And back into survival, you can see I barely took any damage there. You do take a little bit, so armor is going to help you out. But I just want to do it without any armor to show you that it is a safe method, as long as you do not exit this trapdoor. So this obsidian is protecting you. If you exit the trapdoor, if you kind of go a little ham, get a little excited, and go out too far, you're going to be right in TNT, and then you're at risk. This method is going to be a lot more ideal if you do have access to that fast right clicker, because it's actually going to allow you, once you get your first piece of bedrock broken, to break two pieces of bedrock at a time. So instead of over there using two TNT for one piece of bedrock, here we can use two TNT for two pieces of bedrock. So I'm going to do the initial one here. You're going to do this setup like this, flick the lever, and then I'm going to freeze the game. I'm going to freeze the game real quick so we can take a look at what's happened. So that TNT ignited and then got pushed up by the piston. This TNT over here ignited, but then the piston head extended at the same time, so the TNT landed there. And what we want to do is we want to come over here and we want to crouch for the first one and aim right at this corner of the piston, right at this white block here. Turn on our fast clicker and then click on there. So let me unfreeze the game. Now when I break that away, we can see we got our hole in the bedrock. Now that we have that initial hole started, we can start breaking two pieces of bedrock at once. So I'm going to set up the machine here. Cobble, this can be any block. I recommend something blast resistant. Cobblestone is easiest. Our lever up top. And I'm going to go into survival for this. So I'm going to get my piston, jump up here, flick the lever, come down. I'll freeze the game real quick so we can see. Now, instead of this time aiming at that corner right there and having to shift, we're just going to stand down one block, and that's why we had this initial one broken. And we're instead going to aim for the top corner of this piston. So right in there, right in that dark gray corner. And once again, we're going to use our fast clicker to fast click on it. So I'll unfreeze the game. I'm going to turn on my fast clicker and click on that block. Now we can see 2 pieces of bedrock got broken, each by one of the pistons. This is a method that will only work in the end or in the nether, and it's using a bed. So if you are playing in a game where you don't have access to TNT, but still want to get a few pieces of bedrock broken, you can actually do it with a bed. You'll notice we have a piston here that is unpowered, that is pushed out. That's because it's budded. So I'm going to show the way you would set this up. So you're going to come here, so you'd place down your piston facing sideways. You want to put your bed with the head facing away. So we want to hold shift. Make sure do not double click on that yet with your right button or you'll blow it up prematurely. And then while holding shift, jump up and press a redstone block on top of that bed. Next, I'm going to put down my trapdoors, and that's going to activate this piston. I can break the bottom one, and then I can break the redstone block. So this piston never got an update that it should be unpowered, so it's staying in that state. So I'm going to come over here, get under that trapdoor, once again turn on my fast clicker, and then I don't have to wait for any timings. I can just aim at this bottom leg of this bed and right click again with the fast clicker. Now once I break those away, we're going to see that there is a hole down in there as well. All of those methods are using the player to actually place that piston. Unfortunately, I couldn't slow it down enough using Tick Freeze to actually show it, so that's why I did that demonstration earlier with the headless piston. But there is also an option if you need to remove a lot of bedrock. There are machines like this. This is a version of a bedrock breaking machine by user Vitamin C. There are a lot of different models out there for breaking bedrock. A desktop folder has done some interesting ones. It's really a matter of finding which version you like best. I like this version because you don't need to place extra slabs. All you need to do is place pistons where you want to be able to break. And I'm not going to run through the details of the machine because this is, again, not my machine. All I did was paste in a schematic here. I just wanted to showcase it real quick. So if I take out this block, this machine works by dropping down TNT on a series of pistons to create those headless pistons, and then pushing a piston in place so that it can then retract through the bedrock and delete it. So this machine is AFK-able, and you set it, and as long as you keep it loaded, you can just come back to it later, and then it will delete bedrock. Of course, you need to do a machine for each layer of the bedrock that you need to remove. But this is an option. Definitely check out the Slimestone Tech Discord. Check out Vitamin C. Check out Desktop Folder for more information on these types of machines. I'm not going to go into these in detail because, again, none of that is my concept, just doing a showcase there. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to show one quick thing too. If you don't know how to actually get onto the nether roof so that you can then break bedrock to make yourself a path down below the nether ceiling, we are down here below the bedrock ceiling in the nether. And what you need to do is you need to find yourself a block that is at 127 that is just bedrock. So there I've turned on mini HUD, and that is block 127. You can also turn on your F3 screen, and we can see in the bottom right there where it says targeted block negative 374, 127, and 352. That means there is only one piece of bedrock in between you and the nether roof. Then you want to build yourself a ladder that goes all the way up to that block. You're going to hold your space key so that you're standing right there and always pressing up against this block. So my head is hitting that block. Aim right at the corner, right here in between these blocks. Throw your ender pearl. You're going to phase into the bedrock and just keep holding your jump key and move forward. And now we're up there. And once again, I'm going to do this in survival real quick just to show that this is survival friendly. So all the way to the top of the ladder, holding my jump key, throw the ender pearl, and then move forward. You can see there I did take a little bit of damage, so definitely armor is going to help you out more here than it is with the TNT, surprisingly enough. But now that we're up here, we can break out that bedrock, and then we can have a path down to below the nether roof. Couple of other quick notes. Again, if you are on Bedrock Edition, I'm sorry, but this does not work on Bedrock. You cannot build anything above the nether roof, so you can go above the nether roof and then be stuck there, but you can't place a single block above the nether roof. Also, if you're doing this in survival and you're kind of new to it, especially if you're low on resources to do it, might be worth it to bring some obsidian with you and build a portal up here, just in case you run out of resources, because once again, you will kind of be stuck up here if you don't have that hole that goes back down. But if you build a portal, you can come and go as you please. That's going to be it for this video. Just a way to show some different methods of breaking bedrock. Hope you find something that works out well for you. Maybe go into a brand new world and kind of practice this a couple of times before you try it, especially in your hardcore world, something like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Bye.